Hey, Danny here from Songwriters International. Now I'm going to be sharing with you 3 lyrical exercises to transform your lyrics. Take them from good to great and walk you through the process that I use every single time I go about the songwriting process and writing great lyrics. So without further ado, let's jump on in. Now, lyrics are absolutely crucial. They are the backbone of a great song. They are one of, if not the most important things in the songwriting process, because lyrics, believe it or not, are how we tell a story. Okay, so if you want to tell a story to somebody, how do we do it? Through lyrics, or we do it through words. And the only other thing that trumps lyrics for me is melody, because melody is a hook. So for me, melody and lyrics are the 2 most important things of the songwriting process. If you can get them 2 right, you're well on your way to having a great song. And that's why I want to focus my attention specifically on the exercises that I use, that I share with our students to go about writing great lyrics. So the first exercise I want to share with you is opposites of lyrics. Okay, it's a very, very simple process, but I don't see many songwriters doing this deliberately, doing it on purpose and using this technique in your songs. Now, it is quite literally opposites. Things like up and down, left and right, yes and no. It is that simple. Now, to give an example of this, a song that was incredible when it was released and is still such a great song, is a song by Katy Perry, and it's called Hot and Cold. Yes, you guessed it. It's just opposites. And the chorus is, you're hot, then you're cold, you're yes, then you're no, you're in, then you're out, you're wrong, then it's right, or something like that. Don't quote me specifically on the lyrics, but that is the running theme of that chorus. It is literally just the use of opposites. That's all you have to do. If you have a lyric like, you pull me up, then what about you drag me down? Right? Just for that use of opposites and for that use of imagery and creating a little bit more power to your lyrics with a simple technique. So my exercise for you with this is to go ahead and write a verse or a chorus with opposites in. Now, you can do this for your entire verse, so you can have a verse which is just full of opposites, yes and no, in and out, up and down, or you can just use little bits in there. So you might have one line which is an opposite, and then the other 3 lines are not opposites. You can sprinkle this in as much or as little as you want. Now, my quick tip with this is to try and avoid using really obvious opposites in every song you write. If I was to ask you for an opposite, you might say to me, yes or no, left or right, black and white. It's very obvious that you would say that. So go ahead and do a little bit of research. Go onto the internet and just search opposites and try and find more unique opposites that you wouldn't typically find in everyday songs. And that's going to give you that little bit of a push. It's going to make your songs a little bit more unique and also that little bit more powerful. So go ahead and use that exercise and then start to sprinkle those into your songs deliberately when you're going about the songwriting process. My second songwriting exercise, and this one I absolutely love. This is my favorite technique, my favorite exercise to allow me to write stronger, more powerful, captivating lyrics. And it's what I call relation writing. Okay, and you might be asking, what is that? It's, again, very, very simple. It is just where we relate things back to something. Now, an example of this, if I said to you water, what relates to water? And you got a pen and a paper and just wrote down loads of things that relate back to water. You might write ice, because ice is water. You might write ocean. You might write boats, because boats sit on the ocean, which the ocean is water. You might also then talk about fish, because they swim in water. You can see how lots of things start to relate back to a topic. If I said to you fire, what relates to fire? Well, flame, matchstick, burning. But now what you start to do is use this technique in your songwriting process. So for example, I had a lyric which said, like the rain I fell for you. So when you think of rain, you associate that to falling from the sky. So like the rain I fell for you, out of the air, didn't need no parachute. Now, if you think of relation writing, what have I done there? Well, where does the rain come from? It comes from the sky or from the air above us. Then a parachute. What do you do when you have a parachute on? You jump out the plane into thin air and you just fall down to the ground like rain does. So you can see how you can relate two different things, but they're exactly the same. They do the same thing in falling. Another example might be that you have a lyric which is something along the lines of "we are on the rocks," which is saying for a relationship it's not really working out. We are on the rocks, being hit by every wave. Can you see how we've used relation writing to express that, rather than saying our relationship is in a bad place and we keep getting hit with things that are coming up, that are stopping us from progressing our relationship. But instead we are saying we're on the rocks and we're being hit by every wave, or every wave is crashing into us. We're just pushing that lyric a little bit more, but we're using it through relation writing. So my exercise for you on this one is just to go ahead, write down a word. And it could be fire, it could be water, it could be rain, it could be anything that you want to choose, and just list things that relate to that topic, okay? And it can be things like rain and parachute, because they are the same thing. They fall from the sky, right? So you can actually be very creative with this and push a little bit further. And then from there, once you've created your list, go about writing a verse or a chorus using that technique, which is relation writing. My third and final songwriting exercise for you is going to help you create imagery, and it's going to help you push that lyric just that little bit further. And it's a technique that I call question and answering. Now, what I mean by this is you might have a lyric which says, "I'm driving through the night." So imagine you had a lyric in your song which says, "I'm driving through the night." With the technique of question and answering, what we do is we question the lyric to find an answer to explore the lyric. What I mean by that is, I'm driving through the night. So where are you driving? What time is it? Where are you right now? What car are you driving? And by getting all of those answers, you might say, well, I'm driving to this location. Okay, so rather than I'm driving through the night, what about I'm driving to location? Or what about how fast are you driving? I'm driving 60 miles per hour. I'm hitting 90, or I'm hitting 60. So now we have a lyric which is, rather than I'm driving through the night. So now we have a lyric, rather than I'm driving through the night, it's now I'm driving at 60 round the bends of the coast. And we can go a little bit further. Who are you going to see? Well, I'm going to pick up my partner. Okay, we can use that possibly in the context of the song. Another example might be, I love holding your hand. Imagine we had a lyric in your song and it said, I love holding your hand. Well, what do you love? Well, it's the way that the hand interlinks with the other person's hands. It's the fingertips, right? So now I love to grip onto your fingertips and hold the bone, right? Not that you're going to have a lyric like that, but we can expand. We can push further by simply just setting up a lyric, putting a lyric in, like I'm driving through the night, or I love to hold your hand, or whatever it might be, something really simple. Or maybe it's I love you. Well, what do you love about them? Well, I love their hair, I love their eyes. What colour are their eyes? They're blue. And what's so special about them? Well, it's the way the blue meets the hazel, because they have a bluey hazel eye, right? You can see how the exercise can be quite literally where we start with a super simple lyric, but we expand from there. We open up the book and we see what we have available to ourselves. So the exercise for you on this one is to write a super simple lyric. Something like, I'm driving through the night, or I'm holding your hand, or I love you so much. And then from there, ask yourself a bunch of questions. If it was the I love you so much example, what do you love about them specifically? What is it that they do that makes you love them? What are those very small things? Is it the way that they make a cup of tea with 2 sugars instead of 1, right? You can get super specific with it. Or it could be the driving through the night, and we've already given this example. So you write down on a piece of paper all of the questions that you might ask. How fast? Where are you going? Who are you with? What car? Is it nearly dawn and is the sun rising, or is it pitch black? You can start to get all of these answers, and I can guarantee your lyrics will go from good to great, because you will be able to fit some of those little pieces, little extras in there, which are going to make all of the difference for your songs. So they're my 3 songwriting exercises to transform your lyrics to a whole new level. We went through opposites of lyrics, where we say up and down, left and right. It's very simple. Then we use relation writing, where we relate back to a bigger topic. For example, fire. What relates to fire? Burning, match. Just very simple. Then we've got the final and third one, which is question and answering. We question a lyric to find answers to then use that information in our songs. So go ahead, use these techniques into your songs and your lyrics specifically. I can guarantee it's going to transform the way you approach lyrical writing. And if you haven't already, hit that like, drop a subscribe for any other content that you'd like to see, and I will see you over on another video.